sorry, guys. Thanks for joining me again. I have no idea what happened there. I kept trying to go back on and it wouldn't work. I feel so bad. It's terrible. You guys shouldn't have to come back on. So sorry. I know. I'm not sure what happened. Thank you, guys. Melinda, Jim, Judy. I have no idea what happened. I think what I did is when I pulled the camera, it might have kind of disconnected because I wanted to connect you guys above, obviously, so you guys can actually see. And I finally got a good setup. So you can see what I'm actually doing, because I had a couple of videos where it was so difficult to see the actual colors that I was putting on, and I was so proud that I finally figured out a way, and then I disconnect you guys. Well, that's not fun. Let me get started because I don't want these to set too much. I hope you guys continue to join me again. Before we got disconnected, I had a purple, a pink, a lighter pink, and a white that I was going to try to put onto this tumbler. The way that I normally put my colors on is by darkest to lightest. So let's try that and see how it's going to work. I'm going to start off with the purple because it's a bit dark. I normally start off by taking my popsicle stick and just gently drizzling on to my tumbler the different colors. Again, darkest to lightest. This is not super important how you put it on, to be quite honest. And what I normally do is I do about 3/4 of the paint. In this case, I didn't put a lot in there. Let me go grab there we go, my leftover epoxy. So you remember the leftover epoxy, oh, this way, yeah. The epoxy that I had a little bit left over. I'm going to mix a bit more of that into my purple just to make a bit more, because I don't think I'm going to have enough. Now looking at it compared to my other colors. So I put a tiny bit in there and a couple more drops. So you see on my tumbler now, there's a little bit. I don't want too much purple anyway. I want it to be really pink and white. But I do want some purple in there. So I'm going to drizzle some more. What you do with these colors, so this is my purple, is you put on about 3/4 of what you've mixed into your little containers. Okay, you keep about 1/4 of it for the next step. And I'll show you that in a moment. My next color is going to be my deeper pink. Once I'm done putting my purple sort of a little bit all over the cup. And like I said, this doesn't really matter too much how you put it on. And you'll see why in a moment. So there you go. I'm going to start putting my pink on now. Ooh, you know what? This is a nice pink. I hope it stays this bright and pink. And again, this doesn't matter too much how you put this one on. It can be kind of messy because you'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. It's going to be kind of much messier. I'm going to show you a technique because I've seen that some people have been using this and they are having difficulties getting thinner lines, and I'll show you how to get thinner lines. So if you take it right out of the cup, okay, and you just apply it right out of the cup, most of the time it might come out in big blobs. What I do is I extend it a little bit, pull it away from my cup, and make nice thin lines. Right now, it's not super important that I do that, but you'll see why it's going to be important in a minute. Once I'm done putting most of this onto my cup. And I'm going to put a lot more of the pink, because again, I want this to be more pink. Okay. Now I've got my lighter pink that I'm going to put on now. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of light pink, and then you'll see I'm actually going to put another shade of pink in this as well. And I'll show you how I kind of do that. It creates depth when you use shades of the same color. So I think that's the trick for me, and that's what I prefer. I think is visually kind of pretty, is using shades of the same color. So, okay. So once you see that your color's kind of gone around, you're back to where you kind of started, you can sort of start making modifications. So to do that, once I've done, you know, my light pink, I'm going to add a couple drops of white. Again, I'm going to use the regular white, the opaque white. Put 2-3 more drops, mix this. Go ahead and put a little bit lighter. So if I don't see it as light as I want, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more drops. I just want a very light pink. Okay, that's much better. If it starts to get thick on you, you just kind of, again, spread it away from your cup. The further away, like you use your stick, right, to position it further away from your cup, it'll make longer lines. So this one's getting a little bit gummy because there's a lot of paint in there. I'm going to start adding my white pearl. This is going to add a pretty shimmer to it. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, you can start seeing it kind of come together with the white here. This is much more sort of runny, which is interesting. I have used this pearl, but mostly to mix, not so much to just on its own. But I can't wait to see the kind of sort of shimmer it makes. Now, you know what you could do too is if you have some of this left over, you could actually mix this in with another color to make another shade lighter. What you want to do is once you know that you've put your white in most of the areas of your tumbler, now this does not look good. You guys are like looking at this. Some of you guys who've never done this or have never seen this are going, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Yep, it does. It's terrible. Like it's not good. But just wait. What I do, you can use a paintbrush or you can use whatever you like either a paintbrush. You can actually use your finger too. There's nothing stopping you from using, if you guys prefer to do the finger method to apply your epoxy, no problem. I'm just using right now a silicone brush, and I was just cleaning it out. I should have shown you. There was silicone stuck because what I do to clean it, you just have to wait until the epoxy has cured, and then you just rip it out. You see there's little pieces there, and you just make sure you kind of clean it like that, and there you go. You're ready to use it again. So what you do with this at this stage is you just put it against your tumbler. I'm going to go this way because this is the way that it's turning, and I just gently, I'm barely touching the tumbler. I'm just smoothing it out to cover all of the stainless steel. And yes, this is going to look funny. You're going to look at it and go, this doesn't look right. No, it's not going to. It's going to look kind of muddled, and that's the way it's going to look right now, but we're going to fix that. Do you remember how I told you guys to keep about 1/4 of your colors in your little containers? Well, you'll see why in a moment. So 3/4 of it gets mixed in on your base, like this. And you're going to have 1/4 of it left in your little containers. So you want to do this until you basically see no stainless steel, or very little. Because you can fix, like if you mix a couple of little spots, it's fine. You can fix that. but you want to cover as much as you can. Do you see how this is like looking really mixed up? And can you guys see these colors very well? I can see them on my screen, but I just want to make sure that you guys can actually see the colors well enough. So give me a like if you guys can see the colors on here. Excellent. Okay. And guys, I'm really liking this. I'm really, really liking these colors. I'm kind of getting carried away by like talking to you guys and not focusing really on what I'm like obviously I'm focusing on what I'm doing, but I'm not like letting the creative side of me go, oh my gosh. I really want to explain this so that you guys can do this. Okay. All right. So most of it is done. Again, you can touch this up after, or like there are ways to touch it up. See the little bubbles there? You can use your gun to go over those little bubbles. Like you can do it now or you can do it later. See how fast, do you see that? How fast the bubbles kind of disappear when you use your embossing gun? And how nicely it blends. Do you see that nice finish now? The little areas of you don't want to apply too much heat because, well, if you're going to apply heat, you want to do it now, because if you do it after, this will happen, and then this is not the result that you're going to want. And I'll show you in a minute. Okay. All right. I still see some little spots, but we'll fix that. Again, we start by our darker colors. I'm going to grab my purple, wherever I put it. Okay, and this is where you're going to put your definition in. This is where these are a little bit more important. Your lines are a little bit more meaningful at this point. So you want to put them on nice and straight, nice and thin. So again, away from your cup kind of, to make nice thin lines. That's what I prefer. If you guys prefer sort of the more chunky, go for it. It's whatever the look you like. I kind of I like the look that is a little bit more sparse and sort of, see how that's like thick there? I might go into that with another color in a minute to make it a little bit thinner. Okay, that little blob there. That happens, it's not a problem. You can fix that quite easily. Again, your darker colors first, so I'm going to put my purple first. Okay, these are the colors that are going to end up being your final pattern. Okay, so that's enough purple because I really want it to be really pink. Now I'm going to take my darker pink. So see how thick, I don't know, okay, so see how thick this is right now? It's kind of thicker than I would want it, okay? So I'm gonna spread it far and then kind of put it on my cup from far from my, there you go, far from the tumbler and far from the stick. I don't know how best to say that, but you want, if you go too close, you're going to get big chunks, and I don't really like the chunks. I like the sort of the spread out look. So I don't know if you guys can see how I've done that. That's what I find works better for that, because I've been seeing a lot of sort of chunkier, and it's fine if that's what you're going for, but if you're going for this little striations like this, you want to go further, like you want to spread it out kind of like I'm doing. I don't know if you can see that. I'm liking this color scheme. I think it looks nice so far. So this is my darker pink, obviously, and I'm going to go in with my lighter pink in a minute, and then with my white. And then we're going to have different shades of pink and our purple. And by the way, if you had extra purple, for example, I don't have very much purple left, but if I had extra purple, if I wanted to mix the rest of my my epoxy, I could actually add a couple drops of white and add another shade of purple to this, like a lighter shade. But so far so good. Ooh, that's going to look very nice. Do you see that? How that light pink is just making it sort of just cutting right through and making such a nice pattern. Do you guys see that? Love that. So far so good. Again, I'm just kind of spreading away from my cup to make these lines. See, when you've got a little bubble there, you can pop it with your embossing gun. I see a bubble that needs to be popped. You see that so far? And I'm going to go ahead now with my white just to add a little bit of contrast. Ooh, that's nice. It actually, you know what it's doing? Instead of actually being white, I think it's because this is not so opaque. Ooh, this is the pearl, by the way, guys. It seems like it's just adding a little bit of, it's like blending in a little bit. Instead of making a white, it's kind of adding a, like making the purple less purple, the pink less pink, instead of adding like a nice white line. But that's not really a bad thing. We'll see how it turns out. And if you've got areas that are kind of thick, you can just add directly into those areas. Sometimes I'll see that in the pink there. I just kind of went in and added some. What do you guys think so far? Right here's a bit blended. I'm going to do that. And as it turns, it's going to continue to kind of blend and change as it turns. Like this is not the final product at all. And you'll see that. I'm going to run the heat gun just a tiny little bit. Do you see that big bubble right there? Let's make that bubble kind of go away. Make those bubbles go away. Oh, right here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys see it's coming up right now, that little area there that's not as smooth. I'm going to go ahead and try to fix that by adding a little bit more. Do you see that area that's not, you've got the straight lines and then you've got a little area that's a little bit less straight. So I'm going to go ahead, do you see how I did that and kind of tried to fix it? There we go. And I'm going to grab my purple and go in with the purple just for good measure. Oh, there we go. I'm going to add a few more strokes of purple just to give it a bit of contrast. I don't have any purple left. There we go. All right. I don't know how well you guys can see the colors, but I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, sorry, I wasn't able to see any of the questions. Oh, the small torch will do the same thing, by the way, Jill, as the embossing gun, as long as you don't go too close and too long. The embossing gun is, the torch is a little bit stronger. So you want to be careful, just a little bit and a little bit more. This technique, yeah, I don't use as much heat on this at all as I do with my other cups because you just don't need it. You only need it for a little bit of the bubbles, and that's it. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, it smooths out really nicely when you use the gun. Because I don't know if you guys could see the bubbles and sort of, the little ripples, but as soon as you use the gun, and you just have to use it a tiny little bit, and then it kind of smooths out. So, oh, the bottom, I don't do anything for the bottom of these cups. With all my other cups, I do the bottom. This one, I don't. It's not worth it because I don't even know how you would paint the bottom. I guess you could, but it wouldn't look as nice. Like you'd have to kind of just paint it. So, Kelly, I don't normally put another coat of epoxy on it unless it's bumpy. So if it's bumpy, I'll do that. I think I'm just going to go up because I think somebody else had a comment or question, and I like to make sure that I caught that. Yeah, these aren't that expensive. If you guys have epoxy on hand and you have, acrylic paints, you can do this. Acrylic paints get a little bit thicker, so, but I've heard that some people have put water in the paints. Now, what I found, these airbrush paints, basically they're acrylic based. These guys, they're acrylic based paints. So, I mean, they're just watery. Like, do you hear that? When you get the little paints from Walmart or whatever, and the little things, they're much thicker. I just found it, and I thought I would use it, and I think that's why it goes really well. Rhonda, can the tumbler be washed? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have one that I've been using for several months, and I wash it almost every day. It has my business name on it. It was the very first one that I ever did. I wash it, well, hand wash it, obviously, because most of them can't go in the dishwasher to begin with anyway. But yeah, no, it can be washed. It's epoxy. It's ready like this. You can put a decal on here. I've put decals on some of mine. Yeah, this one is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to put like a nice video up for you guys because the colors are really, really nice. Like I'm very, very pleased with it. I don't know if I can, if this is gonna help. No, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video tomorrow and like post it or something, and show you guys actually how nice the colors. Plus, they're gonna change, right? This is not exactly what it's gonna look like tomorrow because it's gonna spin for a while. So the lines are kind of gonna keep working their ways. But I love making these. I absolutely love them. Love them. They're so relaxing and just makes me create, I guess. Makes that creative, that creative side of me kind of come on. Because it's the colors, right? And then, like, sometimes I compare myself to a mad scientist, like mixing different colors. And, oh boy, that's not working the way I like. Ooh, that's not working well. Or that's working well. And let's put more of this, put more of that. You can also add glitter. You can add glitter to one of your colors. I've done that many, many times. Usually in a panic, like, oh wow, this is not looking good. So let's see what glitter will do. See if glitter can save it. And it usually does. That's another option. There's Pearlex paints as well. Pearlex pigments that you can use. I don't have any in bright colors like this. I just have neutral ones, so I don't think they would have matched. But yeah, this is it. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? Otherwise, please do make more of these. I love seeing them. I find that they're really pretty, and I always get complimented on mine. So when I have them at work and on the bus. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the little, well, thank you actually for coming out and hanging out with me, because I like doing this with you guys. I like talking, so I don't have many people to talk to it in the evening here, so it's nice to be able to talk to you guys. So have a good night, and hope to see your creation soon. Bye, guys.